What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about Francis Ngannou, and if he has ruined his career by leaving the UFC and trying to go to boxing, because we haven't heard anything about Francis Ngannou or any rumors about him potentially fighting Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder or any of the big heavyweights, Fury. When he first left, before he left, there were a couple rumors, right? And then once he left, there were a couple rumors, but then they just completely stopped. And I'm just wondering what's going on with Francis Ngannou, man, because he's getting up there, man. You know what I'm saying? He's getting up there in age, and not just that, the longer he stays out of the action, out of the ring, out of the octagon, whatever you want to call it, his name is actually going down in value. His stock is going down because one of the big things that Francis Ngannou had, one of the big leverages was that he was the UFC heavyweight champion. That was a big thing about Francis Ngannou, other than his tremendous power. That was another thing about Ngannou, was that the UFC, that was another thing that he had behind to represent him and to pretty much have his name up there more, because having the UFC behind your name is raising up your stock even more. You're making your name more up there, you know what I'm saying? But now that he's left the UFC, and no, let's be honest, they were giving him, Dana White was giving him the most lucrative contract to fight, you know, in the UFC. Like, it's around $8 million. That is more than what Brock Lesnar had in the UFC. And you know how big Brock Lesnar is. He's, let alone, it's not just the UFC. Brock Lesnar's name is huge in general. And the fact that Francis Ngannou was going to get a contract better than Brock Lesnar is crazy, and he didn't accept that. He thought that was not enough. And not only that, Francis Ngannou wanted Dana White to pay the other fighters more. So here basically Francis Ngannou is trying to get into the business of the UFC, stuff where he shouldn't be even being in there. He shouldn't even have any business talking about this, or even referencing other fighters' pay, or demanding Dana White and the UFC to pay the fighters more. Like, he doesn't have that type of power. I mean, that's another thing that he messed up on. And I think that was another reason why Dana just couldn't stand Francis Ngannou, was that he was, you know, trying to get into the business of the UFC. And so basically he realized that he just didn't have, obviously I think he has the money, but he just didn't want to he just didn't think Francis Ngannou was worth what Francis Ngannou thinks he's worth. But now that he doesn't have the UFC behind him, his name is actually going down in volume, in price, and just stock is devaluing. And I don't think Francis Ngannou has any chance against the top 3 heavyweights, which is Fury, Wilder, Usyk, and AJ. He has no chance against any of them. I think he has a big more chance against AJ right now, just because AJ is not in the good right now. AJ is not good right now. He's a little gunshot right now. But other than that, I just don't think he has a chance against Wilder. I just don't think he has a chance against Fury or Usyk. And I'm pretty sure these guys are, I mean, obviously all these big heavyweights, their name is way more than Francis Ngannou, especially that the UFC is not behind Francis Ngannou anymore. And we heard recently that the president of Bare Knuckle Fight came out saying that they were trying to get in contact. They were contacting Ngannou and trying to make a deal for him to fight Bare Knuckle Fighting. But the president of the Bare Knuckle Fight said that Francis Ngannou was asking a bit too much. He was asking for crazy amounts of money, or just money that they just can't give him. And man, so that's another thing. Has Francis Ngannou, has he became all about the money now? Has he became more about just, is he greedy? Has Francis Ngannou's greed taken over him? I mean, this could potentially end Francis Ngannou completely, because Dana will not take Francis Ngannou back to the UFC. He stated that himself, but we never know about Dana White. He said a bunch of other things that has completely changed. But this, I don't think Francis Ngannou right now has a chance to even, at this moment, to get back into the UFC. And if he doesn't get a fight soon, or doesn't agree with somebody to fight, his stock will just plumble, and then nobody will want to fight him, and they're going to pay him a lot less because his name won't be valued as much anymore. Look, if he would have taken that lucrative contract with the UFC, he could have had that big fight against Jon Jones. And then after that, he could have retired, man. Imagine retiring, fighting Jon Jones. Now we see he might retire without even fighting, stepping foot inside a ring or octagon again. Or if he does, it will be against somebody who is not even that known, you know what I'm saying? So he better get this going, because time is ticking for Francis Ngannou. And let me know if you guys agree with me or not about Francis Ngannou, and if he is potentially just ruining his legacy and his career at this point, because being inactive and just not making a deal with any of the big heavyweights. And yeah, man, I think he is definitely ruining his career here. Time is ticking. But let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. Give it a like and subscribe, man. Give me a sub. It's free. It doesn't cost a penny. Just a click of a button. Hit that subscribe button. Well, give it a like. Let me know what y'all thought. And yeah, peace.